I funded my stepdaughter's ideal wedding only for her to bar my children from attending. So I quietly canceled everything and told her to turn to her biological father instead. Hello, Reddit community. Here's my story. Let me pinpoint the exact moment I stopped trying to be the better person. It wasn't when my stepdaughter, Emily, sighed heavily during our wedding planning sessions. It wasn't when she referred to me as her mother's spouse to suppliers, despite me helping raise her since she was 10. No. The breaking point came 3 days before her perfect wedding, the one I entirely financed. Let's backtrack. I married Laura when Emily was 12. She was reserved but courteous. Her real dad was barely around, often intoxicated, and only sporadically remembered her milestones. I never aimed to take his place. I was just present, driving her to school, attending doctor visits, cheering at her school events. When her father missed her high school graduation, she sobbed in my embrace. Now at 25, Emily was engaged to a reserved man named Ethan. They were smitten, and Emily dreamed of a wedding worthy of a magazine spread. She approached me, not Laura, but me, asking if I could make it happen. "I know it's a big ask," she said, "but you're so reliable, the steady one." I agreed without hesitation because that's what family does, isn't it? I paid $12,000 for a picturesque vineyard venue, $7,000 for a gourmet catering package with shrimp and prime rib, $5,500 for her dress, veil, and shoes, $3,000 for bespoke floral designs, $2,200 for a professional photographer, and a $6,000 all-inclusive honeymoon package for 8 days in the Maldives. Add in the extras, her bachelorette weekend in Miami, the groom's suit, hair and makeup trials, even napkins monogrammed with their initials, and I spent nearly $40,000. I never grumbled, not once. Then, 5 days before the big day, I overheard Emily on a call in the living room, unaware I'd come home early. "Of course, Dad's walking me down the aisle," she said. "I don't care what Tom thinks. He's not my real father. And I told Mom I don't want his kids there either. I'm not running a daycare at my wedding." I stood still, stunned. My sons, Noah, 17, and Caleb, 14, were dismissed like they were unimportant. These are kind, respectful boys who helped set up decorations for her engagement party. They call Laura Miss Laura and Emily M. Noah even planned to DJ at the reception as a surprise. They've only ever tried to be part of this family. I confronted Emily directly. She didn't hesitate. "I want the wedding to be sophisticated," she said. "No offense, but your kids don't match the aesthetic I'm aiming for. They're teens. It's not a kiddie party." I stared at her. "And me? Do I match the aesthetic?" She blinked. "Well, yeah, you're paying for it." That was it. I didn't shout or argue. I just nodded and said, "Thanks for the honesty." Then I went into action. I pulled out the wedding planning folder I'd meticulously organized over the past year, like I was running a covert operation. I started making calls. First, the venue. Since it was booked under my name with my deposit and final payment, I canceled it. Full refund, minus a 10% fee. Worth it. The caterer? Canceled. They were gracious, even refunding the special shrimp order. Photographer? Gone. Florist? I let them keep the deposit and asked them to donate the flowers to a local charity. The dress was already collected. Too late for that. The honeymoon? Canceled. I contacted the travel agency and redirected the credit for a Christmas trip for me and my boys to the Maldives. Noah's DJ surprise? I told him to save his music for his school dance. In 48 hours, Emily's Instagram-famous dream wedding was reduced to a chaotic mess. I waited for the fallout. Emily and Laura stormed in, clutching printed cancellation emails. "What have you done?" Emily screamed. I was on the porch, sipping a soda, watching Noah and Caleb play frisbee in the yard. I barely glanced at her before saying, "I gave you what you wanted." "What does that even mean?" she yelled. "You said I'm not your real dad," I replied calmly. "So let your real dad handle the bill. Let him sort it out." Laura was in tears, trying to mediate, but I wasn't budging. "You supported her," I told her quietly. "You let her exclude my boys. You let her treat me like a wallet." They left without a word. The wedding still happened, barely. It took place in Ethan's uncle's backyard. Emily's real dad walked her down the aisle, smelling of cheap liquor in an ill-fitting suit. Many guests didn't show. The cake came from a grocery store. The music? A shaky Bluetooth speaker with a spotty playlist. And who didn't attend? Me, Noah, and Caleb. Instead, we had a movie marathon, pizza, snacks, and laughter. 3 weeks later, a handwritten letter arrived from Emily. It read, "I was thoughtless. I treated you like a cash machine, not a parent. I'm sorry. I see now how much I hurt you and your sons. I can't undo it, but I hope you'll forgive me someday." I read it, folded it, and placed it in a drawer. Forgiveness doesn't erase actions. She made her choices and burned that bridge. Now she lives with the consequences. Me? I'm at peace. Thank you for watching Story. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.